All right, everybody, welcome back to the Brick Stop. Thank you so much for joining in on this Monday night. We have another Let's Talk About Lego episode all ready to go for you, and that's going to be me and Andrew with Brick Monarch, as usual. I'm going to have him jump on in just a second. We're going to get started. Tonight we're talking about Johnny Thunder, or Adventurers, as many people know it, called by that name as well. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. Let me get you in here, bud. Jungle. Adventures Jungle. So let's get Brick Monarch on here. I just started rambling.
I know. You
I
do
was
that
like,
every time.
Sorry. Welcome
okay.
on, my friend.
Indeed. Johnny Thunder, Jungle Adventures.
I know, dude. I'm so excited. This is
what a great theme.
Phenomenal theme. Dude, every time we get back in, well, every time. We only did the one, but getting back into Johnny Thunder, man. Adventurers, it's got love, dude. Like, it's just, there's so much about it, man.
Well, we've had some side conversations about Johnny Thunder as well. So
yeah.
You and I have talked about this a lot.
Yeah.
In depth.
Yeah. I feel like Johnny Thunder is like, I don't know. It's like a bridge theme for a lot of other things going on, and there's like this. It just brings everything together in this like fantastic display of culture and like adventure, and I don't know, man. It's got so much cool stuff going on. I really, really like it. It's got a huge fan base too.
Like you were talking earlier, it kind of pulls in like a whole different culture. Like the first one brought in the pharaohs and the Sphinx and all that. Mm-hmm. And now this one is like the Incan, Mayan, Aztec type, Amazon jungle from South America. Completely different content, or continent, sorry.
Yeah. Well, and completely different content too.
Oh yeah.
We see stuff that we never really see again out of here. So Jungle's going to be great. I'm really looking forward to getting into it. Welcome, ABC Builds. As always, check his Bricklink store out. He's always got good stuff on there. And I always try to give him a shout out when he joins in. I appreciate it. We've got Drabu. So sad I missed the Futron episode. Yeah, I mean, I understand it's the most
on YouTube.
I was just going to it is on YouTube. It is on my Instagram, but I do understand like being here live with us is a lot of fun. So, but if you want to go back and see what we have to say about that, you're more than welcome to. Adventurers is hype though. Thank you. Spinoza Brick says, "What's up, guys? It's 2 a.m. here, but no way I was going to miss you guys talking about my favorite sub theme." Awesome. We got a Adventurers Jungle super fan in the chat. Well, thanks for staying.
It's a dope group of sets, man. It really is.
It is. We'll try to give it justice for you staying up till 2 a.m. to listen to us.
Yeah, ramble off about Lego sets from the past.
Right. And thanks for joining, my friend, and staying up to watch. Let's see. Dude, we're already getting like lit up on the comments. We haven't even like started talking about it yet. I do want to try and touch a couple of these.
It's a powerful theme, man. A lot of people loved it.
Yeah, it's true. Ben Blonde 47 says, "I want to make Johnny Thunder animation feature." Or animation feature. That'd be so cool. I would love that. I've talked to you, Andrew, about a live action series of movies based on Johnny Thunder. They'd be better than anything they've made so far.
Yeah.
I mean, they put Indiana Jones and the Mummy to shame
because it was original,
right? And it would,
with it being original with no story, you can create your own story.
Well, that's also true. See, and if someone made a TV show or a movie based on it, they'd probably mess it up. So
they probably would mess it up. It'd have to be a lover of the theme.
Absolutely, you're right. Yeah, and the way things get cookie cuttered out and slapped on TVs now, I'd probably prefer it to just be a theme and the story in my head.
Right.
Let's see. Hello, both. I absolutely love your builds, and I just lost the comment. Where'd it go? and it's nice to put a face to them now. Well, thank you, man. Appreciate it. That's us. Me and Andrew. That's what we're doing.
So
Ben Blond says,
how hard did you Lego today?
Me?
Yeah.
Pretty hard because I got Castle in the Forest in the mail. So
right, you did.
Boom, baby. I was like, work exciting. Or I'm gonna keep working. This is like on my doorstep. Like, are you kidding me right now?
Right? Yeah. No, I sorted parts most of the day.
Nice. All right. Well, let's see. I want to try to get as many of the comments answered as possible, but sometimes we cannot get to every single one. We thank you so much for joining in. We're going to get started on talking about the actual theme now. Island Racer. Let's see. Lego. The Lego Den says Island Racer. Is that another name for the exploration balloon, or is that Island Racer from the Dino Expedition?
That's from Dino Expedition.
Okay. That's what I was thinking. Which I have a little fun topic I'll talk about at the very end, how Dino Island and Jungle had some funky related stuff that happened in a certain thing later on. So I'll talk about that at the end here. But yeah, well, let's get started.
Yeah, you want to start with some of the little ones?
Yeah. So the year's 1999. The Matrix just hit theaters, and we're sitting here at home getting our first look.
Everybody's freaking out about Y2K.
Yeah, 100%. But like me, I'm sitting here looking at the Lego catalog like, what have we here?
Right?
So, yeah.
In my parents' basement building the Amazon Enchanted base.
Yeah. Amazon Ancient Ruins.
So
which kind of reminds me.
What? Go ahead.
It kind of reminds me of the what you did say a little bit there. The Enchanted Island. It's got a little bit of with the water going through the center and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of that vibe. But those plates are a little bit more tropical because of the plants that are sticking out.
Pretty sure a different part of the world for sure. But
yeah.
Let's see. Oh, he's asking about Castle in the Forest build. I'm not going to start talking about that. We gotta talk about what we came here to talk about. So maybe we'll mention it a little bit more later.
You didn't build that today anyway, did you?
I got about halfway through the first building. So
yeah, I was gonna say there's no way. When you messaged me earlier, and I was like, dude, there's no way he's building that before we get on live tonight.
No, not the whole thing. I got about that much done. So I think there's one more story I got to finish on the main build, and then the two sides. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess starting off with these two little sets, 1271 Jungle Surprise.
Yeah.
And the 5905 is the Hidden Treasure. It's the same set. One was just released November of 99, and then the other one was released in January of 99.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think, and the same thing they did with the River Raft, they just didn't bother to rename it because it was the same set. I think with the River Raft, I could be wrong. I thought I got that set as a kid in a poly bag, but I know it has a box as well. And that might be why they have it.
That's probably the two differences.
Yeah. So if anyone has anything to say about that, let me know, and I'll try to grab it in the comments if you know why we have some of the same sets listed twice with different set numbers sometimes. So it's kind of weird, but
they're cool little sets, traditional under $5, Lego sets.
Yeah.
That Lego always did back in the day, which was great.
Yes. Yeah, that is the Jungle Surprise one has the sun disc in it, right?
Yeah.
That's a great set.
It is.
The River Raft.
Let's see. It was the 1271 was released and it was $2.
The what?
Yeah, it was listed.
The River Raft was $2.
At $2, yeah.
Wow.
And then it was re-released, and there isn't a price on the re-release.
I would assume it's probably pretty close to the same.
But then the river raft was $450 on both. I think one was a polybag. Yeah, there's a polybag version of that and a box version.
Yeah, Spinoza Bricks, I believe, just dropped into the comments and let us know that that is the case. So, yeah, so that makes sense. If they had to package it differently, they'd name it, or they'd put a different number, part number, or something on it. So,
yeah, I mean, and it's kind of cool because you get these little set and like the what's the chick's name in the
Pippin Reed.
Yeah, Pippin Reed. She's got on that cool. It's a cool print, like with the green jacket and the white shirt, and it looks like there's something on her necklace. It's like
yeah,
passport
it's like
ID card.
It's what was that?
It looks like it might be like a passport thing.
Yeah, one of I think is that the one that has the. I think it's like an Incan or a Mayan stone carved necklace type thing. At least one of them had something like that on. I think it was her, but it could be a different one too. I think one also had like a compass hanging on their neck or something like that. So
yeah,
I would have to pull up the figs again and get a real close look.
A couple of variations. It's just cool, because I feel like some of these were new prints on the figs.
Oh, they were, yeah, absolutely. I think Johnny Thunder and Dr. Kilroy or Dr. Lightning, whatever you want to call him. I think those guys had the same prints, and maybe even Harry Kane, their pilot.
Yeah.
They may have all kept their same prints, but she got a new one, and then they're new villains. So.
Yeah, it wasn't our infamous Baron von Baron.
Well, that's something to note. It's the only Johnny Thunder or Adventurers theme that doesn't have him in it.
And it's funny because we actually know where he was, and we will talk about that later in another video.
Yes, we've been doing some private detective work behind the scenes to unravel these mysteries, and it seems like we have some pretty dark dirt on the von Baron family.
We do. Within the next 2 to 3 weeks, we will be jumping into that Oriental expedition.
Yes.
And then branching out from there and going down a extremely deep rabbit hole.
Yeah.
And I hope everybody tunes in for that one because it will blow your mind.
The Orient expedition back there. Yeah, we'll get into that in a couple weeks. And at some point, I still may do a video, like a YouTube style video with you talking about it even more deeply. But we do want to do a live and get into what some of the stuff. And mostly, I mean, I knew stuff would connect, but you found a lot of stuff and it's pretty cool. So yeah, but he was busy.
He was busy during this period.
But he doesn't show up, nor does his crony Slyboots.
Yep, they were both busy.
Unfortunately,
yeah. To be determined.
Right. Hey, ABC Builds had a good point. The same set could be released in different regions. That actually, I think, is why we had a lot of castle sets that had the same set, sometimes different names. It was just because they were released or released separately. So
yeah, different names based on country.
ABC Builds probably the last time Lego had a $2 retail set. I mean, that is cheap Lego right there. Yeah. It's hard to find some certain pieces for under $2 now.
Dude, I know.
Let's see. We got some lore going on in the comments here. Ben Blonde. Basically looking for the Lost Kingdom of Achu. Johnny Thunder is a World War I veteran. He's trying to forget his war past and study the favorite activity, which is archaeology. That is pretty close to the lore that Lego has put out as well. He's hired by the British explorer, bad guy. The old guy can't remember his name. Together,
Dr. Kilroy.
Yeah, together with his lovely sister. Yeah, Gale Storm, which she's also. See, I always thought Pip and Reed and Gale Storm were different, but apparently they're the same person, just different names. And then set off to find the Kingdom of Achu. Yes. So there's some good lore going on in the comments if you guys want to keep reading that. We appreciate it. Thank you for dropping that in. Was this the theme with the red plane? Gales? No. No, the red plane was Dino Island.
Dino
Gets
Island.
a little confused. I don't think Lego Den was confused. He just said that was like his favorite set. He said, yeah, it's Adventurers, but it is Dino Island. So, which was the red, or the, what would you call that? Jungle Racer or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The all that weird red and green stuff was all in Dino Island. The Dino Island sets.
Yeah, her plane was like yeah, there was a weird blue and black plane in there too. I know you're not a fan of the Dino Island. Was he building the manor? Yeah, we got someone on to you, buddy. Mirko 88. Yes, the manor has some great lore and backstory in the instructions. ABC Bills, do you think if you knew everything you know now about the theme, would it have affected the play value or love of the theme? Like the lore and some of the background behind it and all of that? Is that kind of what you're indicating there? Oh, Island Racer. Sorry, Lego Den said the car was named Island Racer. So, what do you think? What do you think?
Honestly, I mean, in '99, like, who was really on the internet?
Sure. Well, I guess that's a hypothetical. If you knew everything you know now, do you think that you'd love the theme more or less, based on what we know about Adventurers and all of the whole series combined, plus whatever?
I think either way, knowing lore or not knowing it, the sets were still they were still great. And I mean, let's be honest, when you got them in '99, not everybody was on the internet. I mean, if you were on dial-up, and there wasn't like tons and tons of Lego content that was like endless at the time. So I mean, that was one of those things where you'd have to jump into a forum to even know.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like up to you, and that level of, you know, play and love for the theme at that time was enough to set it in stone for a lifetime. It's just like, when you look at it, you're like, dude, I remember getting this, and I remember building it, and I remember doing, you know, whatever. So I don't think it would matter.
Yeah, I would probably agree for the most part on that as well. I do sometimes, the saturation of knowledge about all of the Lego stuff now that we can just dig up and learn about, as awesome as that is and as fun as that is to know. There's an innocence of being a kid in the '90s and getting that magazine.
And not knowing, and I mean,
and not knowing. And I think,
getting the catalog, and there'd be like a little clip art of, you know, a comic strip where you're like, okay, we know how they react to each other.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you can play off of that, but there's not really like, you know, he was a World War vet and blah, blah, you know, all that stuff didn't matter because it wasn't put in the Lego print. Yeah.
You know? And like, as things came out more, you know, like you got the magazine with the set, and then maybe you got like the catalog with the set, and then a magazine with maybe some little bios and stuff of the characters to establish some of the backstory there. That you would get some of that, but it was definitely the first impression of these as a kid, and just the scope and like the location. There's something magical about that I do think is lost with the heavy burden of information we've thrown onto all of this stuff.
Yeah,
so I think that's
another thing too that relates to that is in the Johnny Thunder, and I'm not 100% sure if it was in the desert because I don't have those pulled up right now, but in the box of the Ancient Ruins set, you got a little paragraph, and that paragraph reads, "The adventure continues. Deep in the jungle, the adventurers search for the treasure in the ancient ruins. But where there is treasure, there is danger. Spiders, traps, villains. Only you, the Lego Maniac, can help Johnny Thunder succeed in the greatest adventure ever." So as a kid, you get that. You can read those words, and like, your mind is all over the place.
It's all up to you, man. You don't. Who knows what's around the next tree?
Right, and that was one of the selling points. Was like, you get that and you read it and you're like looking at the imagery, you know, inside, and you're just like,
Lego did a really good job coming out of the 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and a little bit into the 2000s of just giving you just enough to to allow you to do even more than they could ever have imagined you to do with just building the set and setting it there. Like,
yeah.
Or if they had given you a ton of backstory, they knew exactly the amount. They've lost that completely now. That's completely gone. It's like over information. It's either too much information or there's no information. There's no story left, or it's too much going on. But they, at that time, they knew exactly how to market that, which is, it's clever marketing, but it's also, I think it's more than that, because it's real imagination and it's inspiration. So it wasn't just giving them the hook to you buy more Lego. That is obviously part of it, but like there was more than that. And I think it really spoke to the inspiration, inspiring kids and young people to use that information to explode into, like what you said, that huge, vast world of whatever you wanted to happen. So
let me ask you something, Jason.
Yeah.
Were you old enough back in, I mean, did you play family board games?
Yeah, definitely.
Back in the day?
Yeah.
All right. Now, I know that there's some guys in here that are more like our age and maybe even a little older, maybe close to our age. But back in the day, there was a board game. Okay, there was 2 board games that had a molded base plate that you played on. Yeah. One of them was called Crash Canyon, and it was like with micro machines, right?
Okay.
Okay. The other one was called Fireball Island.
I've seen Fireball Island.
And it had the big thing in the center that would turn and spit the fireball, and it would roll down. There would be a marble, and it would roll down. I played that game a lot.
Yeah.
You know, we played that like as a family.
Okay.
This theme, like, nailed it, like, on the head. Like, it felt like the depictions on the cards in the game, it just related, like, so well to, like, how things were. Like, how dope would it be to build a giant Lego Fireball Island with the Johnny Thunder Adventure Jungle theme?
With the working, like, thing.
With the working thing that strips the ball out.
Dude, that's your Lego Ideas project right there, man. I don't know what you're waiting for. Fireball Island. That would be sick.
Like, just built it just like the actual board.
Yeah.
That'd be dope, bro.
Yeah, I'd love that.
Note to self, new idea.
Make it happen.
Make the Fireball Island out of Lego and sell it as a board game.
It's a fantastic idea, and I've seen some really cool board games and things like that, or sort of like that on Lego Ideas. They do get a decent amount of love, though they rarely get picked at the end when they get the 10,000 votes. But that one's got the nostalgia going hard for it, bro.
Yeah, I agree. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah, don't steal it, people. No. Let's see. We got Mustache Brandon. Hey, welcome. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No.
Oh, you're just trolling.
Yeah, I'm just being a troll.
Mustache Brandon, thank you. Welcome. Said Lego Maniac with the happy smiley face. That was the days. 1990s were the Lego Maniac.
Heck yeah, man. I wanted that jean jacket with the Lego logo on the back so bad.
That dorky haircut and the sunglasses.
Dude, I already had the haircut, bro.
Fair enough. I probably did too at one point. Let's see. James 5 Westman. I wish boxes today still had descriptions like that. Yep. Yeah, the open flap with the description to get you set up. You build the set, read the story.
The open flap with the story that you could read to get you fired up, and you see all the minifigs in the blister pack right inside.
Good time. Good time. Oh, man. ABC Bills. My son created his own adventure with these sets, not even knowing the backstory. See, that's the point right there. That's
the brilliance of Lego at its finest.
At its finest, yeah. Now, I'm not saying you can't do that with things you buy now. There's plenty to do with that now. It's just they were hitting the sweet spot back then, I think. Spinoza Bricks. Ironically, only 2 trees were featured in the entire jungle sub-theme. That's a fair point. That's pretty funny.
That is a fair point. And not only that, but there were the garbage palm trees.
I was gonna bring that in, the one mold with the one leaf piece that's slapped on top.
Yeah.
Not great.
And I mean, even the ones that you could bend back in the day in the early Pirates, they would get loose, and you'd like have like a broke ass palm tree because it just wouldn't stand the way you wanted it to.
Yeah.
That brown was really soft.
Yeah, that's true.
Got wore out really quick.
The same brown that they used the rifles. where they would wear out on the minifig hands, and the oars. Yeah, it was oars, palm trees, and rifles were all made of that soft brown plastic.
Yeah.
That wasn't the same as the brown brick.
No.
I had a good question that scrolled up here I wanted to grab, and then we'll get back on to talking about the sets. Mirko88, does anyone know why those jungle sets are so much more difficult to get nowadays than the first wave of adventurers? There's less of them, just as a theme, right? So there were less.
As a number count, and then I think that the desert theme was advertised heavily.
It was
versus like the jungle.
I would have to pull up my notes from that one. Jungle only lasted 1 year. That could also be a part of why they're harder to get a hold of. And
to be honest, because of that purpose, there may have been less produced.
I think there
was
overall. Yeah, I think there might have been a little. I think as far as I can remember, in the 1990, there was crossover in the stores, of jungle of adventurers, desert and jungle on the shelf at the same time, and I'm not sure if that happened later.
Yeah, and if let's be honest, if you had a choice, you'd probably go with the desert. If you're going to buy a set, you'd go with the desert first.
Yeah, I think so.
If you had them set side by side on a shelf.
Desert is solid. It's one of the most solid Lego themes they've ever built.
Oh, yeah. I love it. Yeah. It's dope.
So I'm not sure 100% why it's harder to get than the Egyptian ones. I do believe the Egyptian ones had more production behind them than the jungle theme. Egypt is the main theme. Jungle is a sub-theme. Sub-themes are always harder to get a hold of. They're less highly produced in the sense that they don't have as many sets usually released for them. It's the smallest. That's something we can talk about real quick. But Jungle was the smallest adventures theme they ever did.
Yeah, the Oriental Expedition had more sets.
Yeah, the Orient Expedition had more sets, and I was surprised to know Dino Island had more sets, but that's possibly because they came with at least 4 of those little box ones that were like the collectible ones, and this only came with like 2 poly or 3 poly bags.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of that, well, you should probably jump down to Ruler of the Jungle, the next set in line.
I love that little thing.
It's amazing. It's probably the best set in the whole series.
Golly. Hey, at least their totem poles look a little bit better than the Indians ones did.
Yeah, well,
they've got like that super Mayan, Aztecian feel to them, color and
I think
everything.
They dialed in a little bit on their design for that, a little more than they did with the Wild West.
As simple as it is, it was effective. What a great set.
Yeah, dude, is he fully caped up and everything in that set?
Fully caped up.
Probably another $4 set.
Yeah,
that's you get the totem, you get the Achu, the ruler of the jungle, or the guardian of the sun disk, and you get the cape with the print and his printed headdress, right?
Yeah, no sun disk though.
Oh, it doesn't come with the sun disk.
No, it does not.
Oh, for some reason I thought it did. I would have to pull it up.
No, it's just you get him fully decorated, like you said, cape and headpiece, and he's carrying around a spider and a spear.
Oh, interesting. Is there like any gold or a ruby or anything in there?
Nope.
He's just hanging out. So it's literally just him.
Just him hanging out with his little totem pole in the jungle, playing with spiders.
I love it. Just ruler of the jungle. He's just lonely, dude. This guy's been out here guarding this disc. He's trying to find something to do out there, He probably has a whole Age of Empires style game going with ants and spiders just down on the ground.
Probably. What a nut job.
He's a kind of bit of a crazy guy. Let's see. Spinoza bricks looks like they were weighing in a little bit. They say which is less than half as much as desert. Is that in relation to the production? The jungle sets had a limited release. Certain sets being exclusive to North America. Well, thanks for bringing that in, because that's super helpful to know. That absolutely would affect the price of these now, for sure, and to make them harder to get a hold of. Yeah, I mean, this set, you'd think something this large, you'd get several listings on eBay. This guy,
but you don't.
You pull it up. There's like one in a box, sometimes like sealed for like $1,000, and then there's like one that has like 50 pieces missing, and then that's it. You got to check back another week or two later to see if they can pop up again. Because I took a long time searching for this one to pop up on eBay and try and get a hold of it. So,
well, I mean, honestly, I mean, I think that these would be a part them out on Bricklink.
They can be. The issue here is
get the base plate. The base plate is an issue. The big printed. Base plate. Yeah.
A lot of printed bricks on this one.
Yeah, printed bricks. Yeah. The Zeppelin, the expedition balloon was a sticker.
Yeah, but that was a very exclusive brick. The balloon part, the carrying case balloon piece. Yeah. So that's another one you can't just build that. I mean, I've seen people try to build brick built ones and they look okay, but like if you're going for the actual set, you're not gonna find that for a cheap piece probably. It's a toss up, man. Sometimes if you can find one for like, $100 and something on eBay that has most of the set there, which is how I got a hold of my Jungle Ruin or Amazon Ancient Ruin set. It might be worth grabbing because of the amount of just the base plate for one is probably a $50 base plate.
All day. And then I could look it up on Bricklink, but then I wouldn't be looking at you. I'd be looking at my computer.
Then we'd all start crying and it wouldn't be a fun time. So, because it'd be so expensive.
Yeah.
Age of Empires, there's a mock for you. Age of Empires was one of my first digital builds I ever did. So I think if you scroll all the way down the bottom of my page, you can see a farmhouse and the watchtower from Age of Empires built out of Lego. So yeah, I did actually start working on some of those, but I got sidetracked. But yeah. So that explains why they're a little harder to get a hold of. They're fairly limited and fairly exclusive sub-theme of the original Adventurous set, which seemed to be much more readily available for people to get a hold of.
The Pontoon Plane.
What?
The Pontoon Plane.
Dude, the Pontoon Plane. That was the one set, like I mentioned to you earlier, that I wasn't super sold on in the sense that out of all of the other jungle sets, even those little ones, except maybe the raft, even those little ones, they had something like pop when you looked at them. They popped off the screen to me. And the biplane, though a key part of the expedition, and it fits very well with the theme, never really grabbed my attention as much as some of the.
You know why?
Why?
Because it doesn't have the yellow and the red in it.
Yeah, well, it doesn't have jungle in it either, does it? It's just a plane.
It's a pontoon plane, so it can land in the water.
Right, but it doesn't have
it's brown. It's got some browns in it.
Yeah, but there's no terrain, right? There's no
there's no terrain in it at all. Yeah. But if you look, like if you're talking about like the first couple little sets that we were looking at, the Jungle Surprise, got some red and yellow pieces. Mm-hmm. Old girl's got some red pants on. She's holding the gold sun disc, right? And then in the little raft, you got the red ore and the map and the red snake, which is kind of like Pops.
Yeah.
Then you get to the ruler of the jungle. Oh my God, exploding with color, right?
He's just
living it up. Plane, and it's like a rusty bucket of shit.
Right. That's like, so I was like, as a kid or even a young adult, like scrolling through, I'm like, obviously, like looking at the complete theme, you want the biplane or the.
Yeah, you gotta have it.
You gotta have it. But it was not my go-to, like first one. I'm like, nah, I'll get some of the other ones first for sure. But
no, it's cool. I mean, and it's got a simple build, but it's a cool addition.
Yeah, it is. And it comes. Is it the only? It may be the only. Is it the only jungle set that has Harry Kane, the pilot, in it? Does he come in anything else?
No, he's in the expedition balloon as well.
He is. Oh, right, because he's the pilot. That makes sense.
Yeah, he's the pilot.
So he does show up more than once. Oh, that's good. Because I was gonna mention him as being one of the most underrated members of the Johnny Thunder party. Nobody talks about him. Nobody thinks about him. He's just hanging out in his little leather coat, flying them all over the place. Most people are like, Harry who? Like, he's part of the Adventurers?
He doesn't care. He's getting paid.
Yeah, it's true. I feel like he stays with the boat. He's the guy that stays back with the boat, stays on the plane.
Yeah.
They're running through the jungle. He's like got his handgun out there, like giving them cover as they get back to their plane, right?
Yeah. You get 50 feet out and you're telling them to start it up.
Yep. He's like, here we go again. Lights some dynamite, tosses it out, and rolls away. What a guy.
You know,
Harry Kane, what a hero.
But the next set is Spider's Secret.
Yeah. Spider's Secret's cool.
It is cool. It's very cool.
It's like too cool.
They got their whole video camera out. They're recording it.
Yeah. Yeah. You get a sense that though there are a couple villains, maybe the time they had to spend documenting some of their adventures here was they had a little more time to do that. So they were dealing with more traps and spiders, and there's a couple people kind of sneaking around following them. But, they've got tripods, like you said, with the camera out. They're documenting some of their trip into the jungle. In the Wild West, or not Wild West, in the Egypt theme, it was very much like every scene felt like they had a biplane coming in with mounted guns. They had like the mummy rising out of the tomb, like the Sam Sinister and all the bad guys in the Egypt one just felt like it was more pressing. Like everything was like, we got to get here and get out.
Yeah.
But seeing some of this like setup, it feels like maybe, they have like that later, they have the ship or the little boat in the jungle, like floating around and,
Well, these villains aren't even close to being Baron von Baron.
That's true. We know Baron von Baron's an evil dude.
Oh man, is he evil?
Oh man, he didn't care. He wasn't trying to save nobody. He was gunning for him the whole time they were in Egypt.
You know what? That's why he's got the mansion.
That's true.
Work hard, play hard.
Yep. Yeah, we know. We know what he's up to. We're going to talk about new bricks and parts and pieces in a little bit. But Spinoza bricks, I believe that's how you say it. I better be saying that right. Spider piece was new to the sub theme as well, as a sword, leaf, and sextant. Yeah, sextant, I believe, came with, did it not? It did come with Egypt, right?
Yeah, it did.
The sword leaf, that's a good point. This guy, I'll be showing this page a couple times. These guys right here, which has become a staple and still is available from Lego. Mm-hmm. That leaf right there, it's like a small palm leaf.
Yeah. I think it looks a lot better. I think that one looks a lot better than the old traditional palm leaves.
Sure. I have the pirate nostalgia for the old palm leaf, but it is a great piece. And
I agree. I mean, it's a great addition, and it's quick and easy, and it can be built in quickly and easier than like the other leaf, like the traditional leaf that you use for everything.
Yeah.
But they were so difficult to work in at angles because of how the points were.
Sure. They're a little cumbersome.
Yeah, they were. They were a little difficult to work with.
I'll give you that for sure.
Like using built stuff,
Well, and this new sword, whatever you want to call it, fern piece, palm leaf, works really well. I think that's all of the palm trees on Barracuda Bay are made with that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. It works phenomenally well to make palm trees with.
Yeah, I love the way that it's just got the little clip on the end. Yeah,
it's a good piece. It's one of those really good Lego pieces.
Yeah, it's very versatile.
Mm-hmm. Brett Lego, I want to say hi to Brett Lego. He's if he's still in the chat, welcome. He's a Johnny Thunder fan, another super fan of Johnny Thunder and Adventures. Harry Kane is such a cool name and play on the weather theme. Yeah, that's why I like Gale Storm and Harry King. They probably had a thing going. Let's be real.
They probably did.
Anyway. Harry Kane, good. I'm glad we talked about him because he seems to be overlooked somewhat. Anything else on Spider's Secret you think about like that? Does that have a skeleton that falls over?
Yeah, well, it's got one of those old flimsy arm skeletons.
Yeah, the best one.
Where you just like throw it up against the wall and it lands.
Yeah, and you're like, take a picture now because it's perfect. Yep.
Right.
The ragdoll mechanics. Yeah.
I liked how they brought back the chrome mini dagger that the Aquanauts used.
Yeah. Yeah. Is that the first? I think that's the first time they use it in non-Aqua Zone related content, right?
I think so. I may be wrong.
I don't.
I'm almost positive that wasn't used in very much other stuff. I mean, you had to buy the Aqua Zone sets to get that chrome dagger when it first came.
I mean, yeah. Then they turned it into like the dark gray and pearl gold, and they have all those now. But like, yeah, at the time, it was 100% a diving knife. Did they even use it in divers? Did divers have it? I don't even know if they had the harpoon guns.
They did have the harpoon guns.
I'm not sure that they had the knives.
I'd have to look that up, to be honest.
Yeah, well, if someone in the comments wanna see if they used they didn't use the shiny daggers in the Egypt one. I'm pretty sure.
No.
Almost sure. Yeah, I don't remember seeing those there.
No, you don't cut sand with daggers, dude.
Nah, but you like cut ropes and stuff.
They didn't use ropes.
Yeah, they did. Get out of here. They did have more chains, I will say, but I mean the rigging on the balloon is technically rope, right?
That dagger was to peel an apple.
Or
cut leaves.
Break in the sarcophagus is when you're trying to get it open. Clunk. Break the blade. Snap it.
Nope, you'd use a shovel for that.
Indiana Jones had the dagger. Yeah, but they had changed it by then, I think, didn't they? Did they have a chrome in Indiana Jones? I thought they had changed.
I don't think it was chrome in the Indiana Jones. I've got those sets, and I don't remember seeing it.
So do I. I thought they turned it into like a light blue gray, almost like a rubbery texture dagger.
Yeah, I remember the gray version.
Yeah, and then they had like a pearl gold version. I think those are still current parts too. I could be wrong, but I think they're still used somewhat today.
Yeah, but the pearl gold one came with Peter Pan.
Yeah, there you go. We got Spinoza, Bricks, Harry Potter. The Mer people had chrome daggers. Nice, good find.
Yeah.
So 19.
I guess. Yeah, I mean, to find that quickly, you could just look up the chrome dagger and then just go to the sets it was released in on Bricklink, and it would give you. That's true.
As long as you can find the chrome dagger in Bricklink.
It's on there.
Sometimes the search engine don't help me out much.
It's in mini fig weapon.
That's cool though. So that would have been like 2000 something, early 2001, 2002. Awesome. Well, yeah. So it's chrome dagger. So it comes with the chrome dagger. The adventurers use the chrome daggers from the Aquanauts pretty heavily in this theme, don't they? Or because it's stuck in their backpacks and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then they use the pirate sabers for machetes. Yeah, because they didn't make the machete piece until Lego City Jungle like 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah, I like the old pirate sword a lot better anyway.
It works well, and I could see Johnny Thunder using an actual pirate saber as a machete. Works for me. Yeah, so I mean we're getting close to the end of the set list for this.
Yeah, we got 3 more.
Yeah, it's a pretty small theme.
Yeah. So the expedition balloon.
Yeah, dude, that's a cool one, and I think it's probably the best use of using the Lego container as the set because they tried that a few times. They did some in Bionicle. They did a little bit with the expedition, the desert expedition, with the little sarcophagus, but it wasn't part of the set really. But I like the way they did that. It works pretty well, I think. Yeah,
it was a cool set. I remember I had this set. It was like I said earlier, this was part of my first wave of Lego that I bought and sold.
Yeah, before you.
And I had it, and I put the stickers on perfect, and it looked great.
Nice.
It was a great set.
Yeah, it's cool. It's unique too. They never did much balloon. Well, not much Zeppelin stuff after that.
No.
I mean, even the Indiana Jones set that comes with the fighter planes and the stuff doesn't come with a Zeppelin.
No, but it was that same period that Zeppelins
Right.
were like the thing.
Yeah.
Air travel.
Yeah, no, I love this set. It's a very unique Lego set. Just stand out on its own, not even being part of the adventures.
It was cool, super cool.
Yeah.
Again, came with the medallion. And how cool is it that it's the chrome gold, man? What a great piece.
Yeah. Oh, dude, the Sun Disc is phenomenal.
Yeah, I love that thing.
Dude, and that Sun Disc.
I think I have like maybe 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah, I have about the same probably. Because I could be missing. I have like most of this theme, but I'm missing a couple key sets, and one or two of them have the Sun Disc. So I'm probably missing a couple Sun Discs. If I had the whole theme, you get probably like, I would assume, I should have looked it up, but I think it's around 5 if you have every set. Maybe less.
Yeah.
No, I think it's about 5. Because it comes on this set, it comes on the big set, and then it comes on a couple small sets. So, But yeah, I love that they chromed it. And they do this with some stuff in the Orient Expedition as well. They chrome, there's some cool chrome parts in that as well. So, yeah, this is a great set. Expedition Balloon is my favorite set ever. Lego needs to do more airships. Yeah, I would like, I'm not massive steampunk fan, but even then, I mean, you probably still get some cool airships in a theme like that. But I would love to see another theme like this where the airship is historically in its correct context. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That'd be sick. I agree with that with Spinoza bricks. James 5 Westman. I will never forgive my dad. He bought that one Desert Adventure set with the sarcophagus case and threw it away. He didn't understand the point and thought it was ugly. Sad times. No. No, why?
I remember that case.
Oh.
That was cool. I mean, that was a shelf piece. Just the case by itself.
The little, because you could put the bricks in it or just have it on display. It's like a better version of my, I won't put it on camera. It's like a better version of my Fright Nights cave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That cave is terrible.
I feel your pain, James 5 Westman. So yeah, good. Expedition Balloon was a phenomenal set. Then we jump down to the River Expedition, which might be my favorite one, coming right up next to.
It's a cool set. I have this one.
Yeah, dude, the cave temple looks like a big ape head or something. Like
it is. It's like a big giant ape head.
It's sick, dude.
That's pretty dope.
It's kind of like, I think it's equivalent to the Sphinx set. Like,
yeah,
it doesn't have a base plate mold, but it's big enough to like be in that range, I think.
Yeah, it's cool. And the fact that it comes with this little like riverboat, which is it's pretty dope too, because it feels like a little riverboat.
The Jungle Cruise. I mean, it's that boat. Yeah.
It's cool. I like it. And
it's phenomenal.
It's got the classic monkey in there.
Yep. You get to see the monkey. Is that the other set that comes with a palm tree?
Yep. The one
of 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, that set's great. I think there's a trap or 2 inside the monkey head, the big rock face. I don't remember what's inside there because you can spin it around. There's a decent like chamber inside that set, isn't there?
Yeah, this whole theme is heavy with the spider webs and spiders.
Yes.
There's a spider web inside.
Okay.
Like the opening of the mouth.
Right. You have to like push it open to get through.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that feature. It's such a good feature. It encapsulates, again, it captures the Indiana Jones burning the spiderwebs with the torches or pushing through them and they're stuck to your face. It's just a nice little hinged spiderweb that gives you that adventure feel. Oh yeah, the map. Mustache Brandon brings up the map.
Yeah, the maps are cool.
New map for this. They didn't do what they did with the Egypt, where they had the different maps that did the corresponding coordinates for the like obelisks and all that. But
yeah,
I think it's just one map this time.
Still a
Still
cool
a good
set,
map,
though.
though.
I mean, it's a great set for only having 318 pieces. Like, we get sets like that now, and we're like, where the hell's the rest of it?
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm surprised that they must have put, there must have been a lot of large boat parts and stuff on that, because I would have thought that was more than that.
More 318 pieces, man.
Wow. They did really...
There's only 458 parts in the Amazon Ancient Ruin.
Dude, it's that base plate, man.
That base plate changes the whole thing around.
That fills it out. Well, that gives you your terrain to start your, give you that whole context for the jungle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you got a ravine going through it. I mean, we might as well just jump right into that. Amazon Ancient Ruins.
Yeah, I love this set.
Yeah. Dude, it's such a good set. And we were talking about the base plate earlier, how you were mentioning how great it would be for not just a jungle theme, but you can use that base plate for anything.
Yeah, and the cool thing about this set is like all of those things, they're all built in pods.
Yeah.
Because of how the base plate is built, so you can like shift the pods around however you want to have it set up.
Right, you can kind of see it here. These little sectionals.
Yeah.
You can't
anything that's sitting on the 8x8 brick.
Yeah. These little holes right here.
You can just move them back and forth and set it up kind of however you want.
Yep.
Which then changes the dynamic of the build and visual, like overall visual of it as well, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so this base plate was introduced on this set and Rock Raiders as far as our research took us. I held it at an angle so we don't get the glare, but I'm trying to show you guys the set. You got the car that's basically right out of Egypt. They just jumped in it and drove straight to the jungle. And then, this river printed in the center here. That's fantastic. Looks so good. Got the bridge.
It looks like this base plate would be an expansion base plate for that set that we can never remember the name of. That had the cabin and the river and the bridge.
Oh yeah, we brought it up last time. It was like Adventure Cabin or something cheap, like something really simple set.
River Getaway. Something.
Yeah.
Rapid River Retreat. Was that it?
Dude, that might have been it. That might have been it.
Dude, that just jumped in my brain.
Yeah, you could. It feels like you could probably put those two base plates together.
You totally could. And then you could throw a couple of pine trees on top and done.
Yeah, you could totally use this base plate for an expansion of that set. Or we were talking about how you could even pull all this off and use this as like a moat for a castle and build like a gatehouse maybe out here with a drawbridge that went to another feat.
Great base plate. It's universal across a few different things.
It's a good one. It's a good one for sure.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Mustache.
But yeah, what a disappointment that, these themes like this. I mean, you should be able to get like at least 10 palm trees with this theme.
Yeah.
But you get 2.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, they did a good job creating an atmosphere with some of the imagery. And the theme doesn't feel lacking on trees, but I've never put it all together at one time and tried to see what it looks like either. And yeah, having only 2 palm trees is quite surprising for a jungle theme.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, you could really get wild. You throw a couple extra palm trees in there, man, you could do different depths and heights. I mean, it could really look and feel like, a solid jungle.
Well, you could slap some burps up on the side of that, the one we just talked about, the River Expedition Monkey Temple one, and put some palm trees up on that. Get a little pathway going back behind there with another bridge. Dude, get a waterfall back there. You could really do quite some quite simple expansion
with building. Like an extra 20 parts.
And get some really nice look. Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Like, put 700 pieces in this thing and tell me what you got.
Yeah.
You know how amazing that would be?
That'd be awesome, dude. I love it.
Less than 500 pieces.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah. Well, there were a lot of big parts back then, or not big, but like medium scale parts. Because Mustache Brandon has a good point. He said, 318 pieces would be a stupid car or something now. That's true. That's because they're all this big.
Yeah.
So it's like, wasn't that way back in the day. Let's see, what do we got? We got a comment. Spinoza says, it's weird but cool how they had the Fabuland boat in the Amazon ancient ruins. That's where it came from. I was wondering where that's, because I looked it up and I was like, is the boat?
You're talking about the big dinghy?
Yeah, the big rowboat, which is a very cool.
That is cool. It's like the dinghy on steroids.
Yeah. It's like a little rowboat on steroids.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. I love that they made it into a little motor, like an old steam-powered like motorboat type thing.
Yeah.
It did show up a few times on Belleville as well before, so it's definitely not
in Fabuland and Belleville. Was it the brown one though?
I think Belleville had like a pink one, and like
of course Belleville had a pink one. What about the other Fabuland? Was it blue?
I don't remember. I know that. Yeah, it probably was. Like, I think this is the only set it comes in brown on, for sure.
Ooh, that's gonna be an expensive part.
And see, that's another problem. Like, it's the only set that I think it's the only. Yeah, Amazon Ancient Ruins might be the only set that comes with a brown one of those large rowboats at all, ever. So, yeah,
it's super cool though. I mean, that they didn't use that in Pirate anywhere.
I know. I don't know why.
I mean, because you could have put one of those little standalone, masts in there and put a sail on the front. I mean, that would have been a great little mini pirate ship thing. Little sailboat. It
has a hole in the floor that I believe fits a ball joint. So it was made for that.
Yeah, it was definitely made for that.
They never deployed it in Pirates for some reason.
Overall,
Robbie
pretty
12.
good theme.
Still haven't figured out the slides. The slides? Like what slides? King Leo's Castle used that base plate. Yeah. King Leo Castle used it in like the next year, 2000 or 2001. Different print, and then we got even a second print. I think we may have even had a third print because we had 2 more castles built on this. And then Rock Raiders used it. So I think, did we mention that already?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this one is specific because it's got some grassy hills, some stonework, and then the river printed in, which was like...
The river takes it up a notch. Yeah. Showing the pictures in the videos. Yeah, that's kind of like, it doesn't make sense. They have the little printed like video... like actual video image that you stuff into the camera instead of a videotape. Yeah, that doesn't. I'm with you on that, Robbie Duck. That's funny. I always thought that was funny too. Yeah, because they had at that point they did have the VHS like tile print. You could have put that in there, but I mean it's a cool little image printed on that 1x1, but. Yeah, it definitely doesn't make sense.
I really like the obelisk-like version of printed, the printed hieroglyph type statue-looking things.
Yeah.
On the ancient ruins.
Yeah. So let's talk about that. The new parts were pretty amazing in this theme, and there were some really good new prints, like you're talking about. This came with it's almost like a mummy sort of like printed on there, right?
Yeah, it's similar.
Yeah, it's like or a Incan art type piece. But it also has, and then there's some vines printed along the top. It also came with a stone texture print on one of those pillars, and that actually I believe was then featured later in Harry Potter. And then it looks like there's some 1x8 dark gray with some cool like hieroglyphics, or that's an Egyptian term. I'm not sure that's the correct term for these, but I can't remember.
I think hieroglyph is just hieroglyphs across the board.
Oh yeah, pictograph, whatever, something like that. Yeah. And they also had those cool sloped panels that came in the first edition of Ninja, not Ninjago. They had those on some of their castle walls, but they also had them they have at least one. It's at least one with a cool Mayan print or Aztec print on this too. So yeah. They loaded up pretty heavily on some bricks. Yeah. Sun Disk is a new part, 100% molded and chromed just for this theme. Atchu's cape and mask are all, the cape is a printed cloth cape. The mask is a printed mask. Those are new for this. Let's see. We got the base plate we already talked about. And then we got the palm tree mold is actually, from what I could tell, when I looked up the part earlier today, it came first on this set, these sets. So this little lane palm tree, I thought it was for sure gonna like show up in like the Elville first, and then they just reused it for Johnny Thunder. But it seems like it showed up here first, which is kind of a bummer.
They weren't used in the desert.
No, the desert had the OG old school palm trees.
Did it? I can't remember.
Yeah. So we got
I was curious.
The wonky palm trees showed up here. So, and then we talked about the. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I mean that's pretty much a wrap on this theme overall.
Oh yeah,
I did have a question for you though.
Yeah.
Are you ordering any Lego tonight for the March 1st release?
Oh, dude, I didn't even know about it. I highly doubt it.
What are you doing, man?
What's coming out?
All kinds of stuff. The new
Is
City
it the
Space.
Harry Potter stuff? I'm thinking about maybe getting some Harry Potter stuff.
The new City Space with like the domes and all that.
Yeah.
John Deere tractor. Ordering that. The Spice Girls. Crystal's getting that. Elvis.
My wife wants to get those. I'll have to go look again. I've been out of the ordering loop for a while.
I'm getting that whole expansion of City Space. I'm getting that whole theme.
That's worth it. I think that's probably the best thing they've launched in Lego, minus maybe the continuation of the Harry Potter stuff because I like it. But that stuff was fire, dude. That's on point.
I'm super excited to get those.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. I wanted to say a couple things about the minifigs and then a couple closing thoughts. I have some facts about this theme I wanted to bring in here. And then I'll talk about the connection to Dino Island. And it's not really a connection, but I wanted to bring that up because I said I would earlier. So
I'm all ears.
The bad guys were Senor Palomar, Rudo Villano. So it sounds like they're of Mexican descent, which is interesting. I guess it would make sense where the location is, right? So maybe they're like some sort of grave robbers.
Maybe they were a little more local.
Yeah, like maybe some local artifacts dealers or something like that they ran into. And then I'm not sure if I'm saying this right, but Gaburo, he was the little sailor on the ship, but he worked for both of them. He was a double agent.
Ooh.
Yeah. So that's an interesting little fact I found out about him. He was, because he showed, I don't know, he shows up, I think, on 2 of the sets. Yeah, and so he works for both of them. I would say he's probably less of a double agent and more of a, you pay me, I'll take you somewhere on a boat kind of a guy.
That's him.
Yeah.
That's him.
I love it. He's got a cool new print. He's got the cool, like, grease monkey, like, tank top with the wrench, I think, printed on there, like tucked in his belt and everything.
Yeah.
He's like
the little dude with the black hat on, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I like that minifigure a lot. He's got I think a new face print and everything. And then Atchu was the Guardian. We already talked about him. He wasn't necessarily a bad guy. He was just the Guardian. He was against both the adventurers and the villains, I suppose.
Yeah.
He was just there to like mess with you and probably activate traps and all of that. So I want to say that about the characters. The rest of them are the rest of the old crew from Johnny Thunder. I don't think there's anything new about them. And then we already mentioned that it was the smallest theme. The Lego Island 2. There's a mission in Lego Island 2, the video game, where you fly through a jungle. And I believe you shoot bananas at like monkeys or something. It's pretty wild.
How fun.
But you see his ruins as you fly through the jungle.
Oh,
So
that's dope.
I thought that was kind of cool, and I do remember that level. I don't remember if I noticed that or not when I played it when I was younger, but I do remember the level. Lego Racers had a cool, of course, Lego Racers. We cover a lot of themes that end up in Lego Racers, but they had a cool jungle theme where you drive through and there's spikes that come down in the jungle as you're racing through and everything. So that was fun.
Cool. What was that? What was that on? Was that on
PC?
Only PC?
It may have been on like GameCube too or something, but like I'm pretty sure it was mainly PC. Lego did pretty exclusive PC stuff, I think. Yeah, so that was me and my brother played that for hundreds of hours, just racing through these old Lego worlds. And the jungle track was pretty fantastic. There's spiders and stuff in it. Cool. It was we already talked about that. It was the only no Sinisters showed up in this one. And then here's a interesting thing. The Lego Racers 2 game, which had some open world aspects where you could just drive around into different areas. Some of the ruins on Dino Island featured the Amazon temple. So they may have been in this. That's the little connection there. That they may, since they did show up in the same location as the jungle and the Dino Island, they kind of showed up in the same area in the game. So I thought that was kind of cool. So when you're driving through the jungle area, you see that, or the Dino Island, you see some ancient Amazon ruins callbacks, I guess you could call it. So
in the game,
yes, which could lead to the fact that maybe they started in the jungle, and since they end up in a Dino Island, which is a very jungle tropical place as well, maybe they had some mishaps getting out with the sun disk and ended up on a more of a lost world type of situation.
Well, that's cool.
I like that. So yeah,
I wish I could have seen that game. I've never seen it, or played it or something like that.
Look up Brickopedia, look up Lego Racers. They have the track layouts for each one of the circuits, and they're like the coolest art with like Lego Royal Knights artwork and the little track running through it. They got all the art for like the jungle theme with the little track going through it. Take a look at it. It's on Brickopedia. It's a fun game, dude. It was so much fun as a kid. I would love to play that again sometime.
It's a shame somebody doesn't have that online or on like some knockoff thing that you could just jump in and play a little bit.
Like the Rock Raiders one?
Yeah. That'd be cool.
Oh, here we go. I should pay attention to people here. Spinoza says Lego Racers was on the Nintendo 64.
Done. I'll just buy a 64. I've been wanting one of those for a minute anyway.
And the PS1. Okay. So if you can find them, dude, that'd be sick.
Those are the old cartridge ones too. That'd probably still work if you give them a little blow job.
Yeah, it's true. That was the magic back in the day.
It was.
A little alcohol. All right. Well, yeah, that's about all. So I did want to bring in those final thoughts there on the Amazon one. Could have been connected to Dino Island. Everything's connected. We're going to talk about that in a couple episodes here, where this whole theme is connected. There's all kinds of dark secrets and crazy stuff going on behind the background. But as a surface level, just looking at these themes, so much fun stuff happening too. So, yeah, man, that was fun.
Wonderful. It's a wonderful sub theme.
It is. It's fantastic. It's a fantastic sub theme. Or it's the locals. That's actually a bet. Robbie Duck 12 says, or locals trying to keep the grave robbers away from their shit. Could be. They were definitely portrayed as the villains, but I mean, heck, what do we know? They could have just been there helping out at you the whole time.
Maybe.
But yeah, that's I like that spin.
They were trying to like use Dr. Kilroy and Johnny Thunder's knowledge to get there first.
Yeah. I feel like the motivations behind some of them were not pure. They seemed like they were after it for some sort of.
Yeah, they were there for treasure.
Yeah, power or gain. According to the lore, the adventurers were there to preserve it, and the villains were there to, monetary gain. But I don't know if they needed to preserve the sun disk because it had a guardian, so it might have been fine without anybody's help. Yeah. Well, thanks for joining, everybody. We got a couple last things here, but that's about it for our Jungles Expedition theme. I hope it was worth staying up late for and watching us talk about it. I'm sure there's a little bit that we missed, and you're welcome to comment once we post this on YouTube and Instagram as well. We welcome comments. I try to respond to all of those as I can. So,
also, since we already know what we're talking about next week, it will be Blacktron 1.
Yes. Yeah, so get prepared for that next Monday. We try to do these every single Monday. If we don't, we'll let you know with a post whether or not we're doing it. But every Monday we try to do a Let's Talk About Lego episode. And get ready for Blacktron's 1. We're jumping back into space.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited to do that. I like some of the space stuff.
Space was fun, and a lot of people were all about the Futron conversation. They were in it for it. So.
This Futron had the monorail, man.
That's true. You can't go wrong with that.
Right.
So, all right, man. Well, let's call it a wrap. That was fun. It's a good theme.
Yeah, it's good little piece of nostalgia there.
Yeah. Well, and I was happy to jump back into Adventurers because it's top 5 themes for me. One of the top 5. So.
Right.
All right, man.
Yeah. Blacktron is a beautiful theme.
Yeah, we got a couple comments in the comments saying good night. Thank you so much for staying in here. Those who stayed for the whole time.
Yep.
And thank you for people who just jumped in, jumped out. We appreciate you as well. It's been a lot of fun.
It's always fun to talk about Lego.
Yeah. All right. I'll see you next week, man.
Yep. You too. Have a good one.
All right. Have a good night, guys.
See ya.